Hello and welcome to Held and Heard. This is a podcast for pregnant and postpartum mamas who want to feel more connected to their babies and more confident in themselves. Here, we talk about elimination communication and infant potty learning as a way of listening, not as something to add to your plate, but as a way to better understand what your baby has been communicating from the very beginning. This is a place where you learn to trust your baby and yourself. I'm your host, Heather Medlin, mother of 3, infant potty learning educator, and founder of Ready from Birth, where I guide postpartum mamas through every stage of early potty learning, from birth to toilet independence. Each week, I'll help you slow down, tune in, and discover just how aware and capable your baby already is, so you can meet them with confidence instead of doubt. Your baby is communicating, and you are capable of listening. Let's get started. I'm so excited to bring this to you. This is the very first episode of this new podcast. It has been on my heart for a while to do this, and I am finally ready to bring it to you. I'm actually driving to work right now. It is Monday morning. We have a new temporary babysitter at home. I am sick. My children are still getting over a cold. And to be honest, nothing about today is perfect. Nothing is going as planned. I'm late. There's road noise all around me. And I even thought on my way this morning, which I had planned to record this podcast for you, I thought, you know what? I'm still a little congested from this cold that we've had over the past week or so. My voice sounds a little funny. I'm not going to do it. I don't sound like me, and I'm going to wait until conditions are perfect. Don't you know that story? And you know what? That's when I realized that is exactly what today's episode actually needs to be about. It is about showing up and doing it anyway, even when conditions aren't perfect. It's about practice, not perfection. So what am I even talking about? If you're new here, if you're new to my world, if this is the first time you're ever tuning into any of my content, what is simply put, it's elimination communication, or natural infant toilet learning, or assisted infant pottying, or even baby potty training. All of these things are used to refer to this. And quite simply, it is the practice of learning to understand your baby's natural body language and cues that mean they need to go to the bathroom, that mean they need to pee or poop. And instead of waiting for them to dirty a diaper and changing the diaper after the fact, you're going to respond. You're going to respond to your baby's body language and take them to the potty first before they go in their diaper. It's so simple. That's all it is. Is there a lot of nuance in how you do it and when you do it and how it changes as they age? Of course, absolutely. But in a nutshell, elimination communication is just that. It's learning to understand your baby's communication around their potty needs. So why does that even matter? Why would we want to do that? If you are a mama in the Western world, you are probably fully aware that pretty much every baby you know wears diapers from the day that they're born. We slap a diaper on the baby, we wait for it to be dirty, and then we change it. And that's just how it's done. People equate babies with diapers, and that has been how it is for pretty much since you first learned about a baby as a child. But the truth is, that's not how it's always been. For millennia, parents would have to respond to their baby's cues because otherwise they were just making their bed dirty, they were making their caregiver dirty, they were making their clothes dirty. And people have not always had washing machines. People have always had disposable diapers readily available. So the normal way for babies to be cared for in human history is to respond to their potty needs in the same exact way that we would respond to any of their other needs. Their hunger cues, their sleepy cues, their need to be picked up and held. All of these ways that we're already responding to our babies in normal caregiving can be extended to responding to their potty needs. The only difference is that modern, convenient diapers being readily available and relatively cheap has created a culture of set it and forget it, a culture of putting a diaper on a baby and walking away and waiting for something to react to. So I want to invite you into a different reality, into a reality that understands and seeks to
truly understand and connect with our babies and see them as incredibly wise, capable human beings that are actually already aware of their bodies and their needs from the day that they're born. God has given us an incredible instinct to be able to read those signals from our babies and connect and respond to them. And this is our birthright. This is something that is baked into our cells at a DNA level. We can feel and understand when our baby is hungry. If you've ever held a baby and they start to cry and you know that they're hungry and you feel that intensity building of they're a little bit hungry, now they're getting agitated. If you still don't feed them, they're full on rage, panic, alarm bells are going off. And you feel your baby's irritation and concern in your own body. Mama, that works exactly the same way with understanding their body. And when you really start to look and you really start to listen, you won't be able to look away and you will know exactly what your baby is trying to tell you. So I just want to invite you to come here with an open mind, to begin to see your baby as they truly are, and to be ready to unlock that deep connection that's possible when you start to respond to your baby as an aware and capable human being. So, what I wanted to share today and the message that I am inviting you into is practice over perfection. So many people will never even try to potty their baby or to practice EC in any way because they think, well, I can't do it all the time. I have work. I have to put my baby in daycare. I have 3 other children. I have a business to run. I have a physical disability that means I'm limited in my mobility. Whatever the reason is, if you think I can't do this because I can't do it perfectly, you're cutting yourself off from the incredible possibility of just start. Start messy. Start with one offer a day. Start with noticing your baby's futzy cues after the next feed and giving them the chance to go potty and relieve themselves in a way that feels natural, safe, and comfortable. Babies don't want to poop in a diaper. That's not how they're designed. That's not how they're wired. In fact, most babies will begin to cry a lot, and you will notice a lot of unexplained crying peaking around 4 to 6 weeks old, which often is just generally chalked up to colic. And most parents are Googling, like, how do I stop my baby crying? And it's normal for a baby to cry for unexplained reasons for multiple hours a day. Y'all, babies do not cry for no reason. There is always a reason. And when we realize that a big part of the crying is that they simply do not want to soil a diaper, because that is not the way that God made them. And we are trying to intercept that with putting a convenience tool on them for the lie of this is going to make my life easier. It's actually making everything harder for you and for your baby. They're having to overcome the alarm bells going off in their own body that say, don't pee, don't poop, don't do that, don't do that. That's not what's supposed to happen. It's going to be touching my body. They know that. They know that from the day that they're born. And if we are not responding to those feelings that they're feeling, that they're trying to communicate to you, this feels too important to ignore. Something is happening. Something's not right. Help me. If we're not responding to that, we are teaching them from the beginning not to listen to those cues, not to listen to that voice inside of them, not to do anything when they feel that feeling. And then later, when we try to start potty training a 2-year-old and teach them, oh, now I want you to do something completely different than you've ever done before. I want you to start putting your pee and your poop in a potty, this plastic, cold, hard thing that you've never sat on before. They're like, what? That's not the plan. It's not what we've been doing. That's not the routine. And in most cases, you're going to be met with a whole lot of resistance, fear, and power struggle with your toddler if you try to do that. So not only is this going to make your postpartum so much easier and more peaceful when your baby feels heard and understood, because the crying will stop, if not completely, will drastically reduce, and you will understand when they are crying what that means. You are also giving your future self a huge favor because you are preparing your baby from the beginning with what to do when they feel that feeling in their body. So, do you have to do it perfectly? Do you have to do it all the time, every time? Absolutely not. No, it is enough to just start noticing, just start to become aware of what your baby is communicating. You don't even have to do anything right away. If you spend 3 days, 7 days, just noticing what's happening, I guarantee you your confidence is going to build. And then when you do offer and it happens and you see the relief on your baby's face, you're going to realize what's possible. And that's going to change everything for you. So, just like I had to show up today and record this episode, even though my voice sounds nasally and I'm a little congested and I don't feel like I have my normal voice right now, I said, you know what? I'm going to do it anyway. Presence over perfection, practice over perfection. That's all elimination communication is. It's not a performance. It's not something you have to do perfectly or do right. It is about being present and showing up the best that you can each time you notice. It is a practice. Your baby is going to pee or poop thousands of times in the first year alone. Every single one of those times is an opportunity to notice, is an opportunity to connect and respond. And I guarantee you, when you start responding to your baby in this way and they realize that you're coming with help and that they can start to trust you to come with help and to understand what they need, you are going to be amazed at how calm your baby can become and how calm your experience of postpartum can become as a result. So many people put off starting this or trying it. Even the mamas that listen to me regularly over on Instagram, even those mamas who see what I'm doing, know what I'm doing, think it's really cool, but are still telling themselves, it's not for me, not right now, maybe later, when things just settle down a little bit, when the dust settles, when I'm getting more sleep at night, when my baby is sitting up, when this, when that. You're telling yourself this story to put off getting started because you think conditions aren't perfect. Mama, I'm here to tell you, because I've done this with 2 of my 3 babies, my 2 youngest 2 babies. The difference that I saw in babies number 2 and number 3, my daughter and my son, who's now 10 months old, compared to my first son, who I had no idea this was an option. It was night and day. I struggled with all the things that you're struggling with as a new mom. Challenges breastfeeding, challenges with sleep, exhaustion, postpartum depression, a C-section, an emergency C-section that I had to recover from. I struggled with all of that. We moved when my son was 12 days old. We had to move homes. It was so hard. And I was struggling and I didn't know what I was doing. And I just didn't know what I didn't know. And my son was crying so much at 4 to 6 weeks old. And I didn't know why. I even remember bopping around the room at my dad's house while we were staying there temporarily before we could move into our new apartment. And my son was just crying and crying and crying in my arms. I couldn't get him to fall asleep. I couldn't lay him down. And I literally thought to myself, I bet he's working on a poop. He seemed a little gassy. If I can just help him get there, he will be okay. I knew in my body, even then, just 9 or 10 days postpartum, I knew already that he was working on a poop. And I didn't do anything about it. And that's the crazy thing. I think so many of us already know because it's already in our bodies. It's already in the wisdom of our cells from millennia of being a human and raising babies and having babies. We know what they need. But culture has told us otherwise. Culture has sold us a different plan. Oh, just have the diaper raffle at the baby shower. Get all the diapers. Put the diaper pail on the baby shower registry. You just need all of these diapers. You need all of this stuff. You need all of these products. You don't need any of those products. You just need to learn to listen to your baby because they're already telling you exactly what they need. With my daughter, when I started pottying her at 5 weeks old, she peed and pooped later that day. And the relief on her face was incredible. I was shocked. And the calm that we experienced with our daughter and then later with our son, when we started pottying her regularly and she never was sitting there wondering if the offer was going to come wondering if she was going to have to poop in her diaper this time. She never had constipation. She never had gas. She never had colic. Neither of my second or third babies did. It was a complete 180 from the experience we had with my son. And I could have told myself, maybe when the crying stops, maybe when the colic stops, when this just gets a little bit easier, then I'll try this, had I known about it then. But what I know to be true now is that pottying your baby can actually make everything else so much easier. So, Mama, I just want to encourage you with this and leave you with this today. If you're hearing this message and you're curious and you're wondering if it could be for you, take the next step. Don't wait. Don't wait until conditions are perfect. Start now. There's a free guide that I have that I'm going to link down below in the show notes of this episode. It is a free guide to elimination communication for babies 0 to 12 months. And it will show you exactly how to hold your baby, when to offer, a little bit more about what this is, and how to get started. So I just want to invite you to take that first step right now, learn a little bit more about this, and come back next time.
If you loved today's episode, would you take a moment to help me reach even more mamas with this message? Leave me a review or share this with a friend. You can help even more families discover what's possible. You can find education and support for every stage of your baby's potty learning journey at readyfrombirth.com. And be sure to follow me on Instagram at readyfrombirth.ec. Thank you so much for listening. I'll be back every Monday with a brand new episode. See you next time. Bye for now.